DCYF definitely had my back in every situation possible.
I'm really thankful for DCYF and that I was able to be in foster care, because if I had been in my other situation, I'm not really sure where I'd be right now.
So when you think about youth and young adults, you assume that they have people that love them, they have parents or whoever raised them that are going to be there for them, through thick and thin, right? Well, think about kids that don't have that support, whether they've been abused or neglected, there's problems there, and where do they go for help? Well, a lot of those kids end up working with DCYF.
There's a lot of things about being an adult that I don't know. So it's great that I'm able to call or text my former caseworker. There's a lot of resources that were available to me. Like, I didn't know how to properly store food. I'm still learning about credit and budgeting, and there was a lot of resources helping me learn that. And before I left foster care, which I think was great, they made sure I had a primary caring adult that I could count on when I left. So we established a support system before I was on my own.
Living on my own has proved to be a struggle too. I've learned how to stand up for myself when it comes into situations where I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, whether that be at work or in my personal life. And finally, I just started therapy and I started learning that it's okay to talk about my struggles. And now it's a strength of mine. I can talk about it and not feel ashamed of where I came from.
And they're trying to figure out, what am I going to do after high school? Where am I going to live? Who are my connections? We're right there with them, supporting them to think about, making the best decisions for themselves and providing them with resources so they have access to housing. They can access higher education. They can have a job. They can make those connections so they don't feel so alone.
Since DCYF got involved in my life, I've felt safe. And they've really taught me how to advocate for myself. I learned how to find my voice. I started off very passive, angry and passive, and DCYF helped me find my voice. I'm not angry, I'm not passive. I know how to be assertive. I know how to connect with resources, and if I don't, I know how to find the appropriate people to help me.
I feel positive. I think there's a really great future that's lined up for me. I'm working on getting my human services degree from Manchester Community College, and I would love to go down the human services track. Whether I become a social worker, counselor, haven't really decided where I'm going with that yet, but the degree itself can take me in a million different directions.
We're leveling the playing field. We're making it possible for youth that maybe had issues for whatever reason, making it possible for them to have as much success and fulfillment as anyone else.
Now I feel in control of what happens to me. Before, I kind of felt like life was just happening to me, but now I feel in control. I feel empowered. I feel like what happens to myself and my son is really up to me.